back to the channel, guys. So in today's video we're going to go over how I built my truck cap camper. I just finished it and I'm super pumped about it. We're going to do a lot of trips with it this year, but this is the video of me basically building this thing. If you guys haven't seen part one to this build, it's when we got the truck cap and kind of refurbished that and painted it and did a whole bunch of stuff to it and put it on the truck. I will have that in the end cards, or you can just search on my channel and it should be there. Hope you guys enjoy the video. So the first part of this build, I really wanted to lay down some type of floor that we can anchor our bed system and drawer system to. As you can see, the Tacoma has these ridges in the bed, which makes it really uncomfortable to crawl across, so we really need to make a floor. Luckily, the rubberized mat that I had laying in the back of my truck was the exact size of my truck bed. I could lay that right on top of the piece of plywood that I had, trace it out, and cut it out, and it would fit the bed almost exactly. The plywood was a little bit short width-wise, so I did have to add on a few pieces to the edge, but I was still able to use one sheet of plywood to complete this floor. Where I attached these pieces of metal strapping didn't interfere with the ridges, so it would still sit nice and flat and flush on the truck bed. I took my Dremel tool and cut off the screws because they were a little bit long. And then we had to test fit it to make sure it was going to fit in the bed.
Oh. Boom! Just like
Once
that.
I got it in there, I realized there's a little bit of a gap underneath on the very edge because the ridges in the Tacoma bed don't go out far enough, so I just put a little support in there, and then we were basically done. Now all we need to do was bring this thing over, put a few coats of poly on it. What I was using is spar urethane. It's for outdoor and marine use. I put 2 coats on the bottom and 1 coat on the top, and I really sealed this up good, put it on thick with a roller, and that should keep any moisture out because this is going to be sitting on the truck bed itself. I'm going to put in a laminate floor here. It's a click together, waterproof, just the cheapest that I could find at the local hardware store. What I'm going to do is basically just build the floor out in a gigantic square just to cover all of this. I'm going to glue it down with some Loctite adhesive that I have, and then once that's dried, I'll flip it over, cut out the shape of the wood here. There's a bunch of reasons why I wanted to do this. This stuff is waterproof, really durable, so sliding stuff in and out, I can still use it as a truck. It's going to look pretty cool, and it'll make it easy to kind of sweep out and keep clean when we're actually staying in it and stuff. So. So I actually decided to run screws all along the perimeter, but mostly along the top. I wanted 1 screw in each board basically just to hold them from sliding around. They're going to be banging around the back of the truck some, hot and cold temperatures, expanding and contracting, and I want them to stay in place. So I put a bunch up front, a few down the side. Tacoma has a couple drain holes on each corner and in the center of the bed up front. I utilized the 2 corner holes to mount some bolts through, but I did have to drill 1 hole in the center because I still wanted to have 1 drain hole up front just in case we got some water in there. I had some spare aluminum kicking around the garage from another project, so it ended up fitting perfectly on the end of this little floor here. I figured it would be a good thing to add since I'm going to be tossing stuff in and out of the truck. It's going to get that floor really beat up on the corner edge. What I did was I bought 1 10-inch wide pine board and 1 10-inch wide poplar board, and I figured the poplar would be a little bit more durable than the pine to have on this outside edge because I'm still going to be throwing stuff in and out of here. It won't get beat up as much. I gotta basically just frame in this cabinet or this bed that we're making. I don't really know what the plan is. I'm just kind of winging it like we always do, so stick around and see what happens. So I did a lot of thinking on this, and I decided that 26.5 inches was wide enough for a bed for me to sleep on. So I measured it all out and ended up cutting the boards to length to fit in the truck bed. And this is going to be the base for our cabinet. So I added plywood to the bottom, screwed all those together. And then I slid in the drawer slides that I bought. Now these are massive 60-inch drawer slides, the biggest I could find. I got him from Solid Woodworks. He also has a YouTube channel, you can check him out. These are actually locking drawer slides, and you'll see them later in the video, but I wanted the locking drawer slides because if I ever have my tailgate down, I don't want this massive 5-foot drawer to come sliding out of the back of my truck, so it will stay locked until you push the locking mechanism to unlock it. So this is where things kind of slowed down a little bit in the building process, and I had to think a lot more about how I was going to do this. I built the cabinet, test fitted it a bunch. I had to build like half of it at a time because I needed a little bump out at the top, a little recessed area for my little cutting board that I wanted to have extend out of there. So I did a lot of test fitting, a lot of measuring, cutting, and they all kind of centered around these other slides that I was going to use. I bought these at Home Depot. I can link them in the description below, but they're just general easy close drawer slides. I think they were 20 or 24 inch. This drawer system was also kind of centered around my Coleman stove here. And it was a little bit of a tight fit. As you can see, the lid didn't quite open, so I knew I was going to have to do this anyways. I marked out the area where I wanted to cut, and I'm going to make a big open area on the front so we can get at the grill. And that way, when we flip up that cover, the knobs slide out and there's enough room to open the cover all the way. I also had to drill a little hole for the igniter button, which worked out well, and it fits in there pretty nicely, and the propane tank kind of just hangs out the side. The next thing I did was grab a bunch of items that I knew I wanted to keep in this drawer, and I made some dividers to help secure those in there. So I picked up these drawer slides at Home Depot. I'll link them down in the description below. I got the ones that are the soft close, and I'm hoping that they will keep the drawer more secure instead of sliding around some. So, alright, so I picked up this sheet of metal here. It said that it's aluminum, but it looks like stainless steel to me. So either way, aluminum or stainless, it's going to work good for food prep and cooking on and stuff. So I just want to cut it to basically fit this piece of wood here. So I can't take all the credit for coming up with this slide out cutting board. I got the idea from another Maine YouTuber. His channel name is Mainly Outdoors, so definitely go check him out. He does a lot of truck camping, hunting and fishing stuff. And I got the chance to see his build in person, and I really wanted to add that feature to mine. I'm gonna put this sort of trim piece on the end. I had a whole bunch of this stuff laying around, so I might as well use it, kind of trim it up, make it look nice. Should be able to take these right off to mount it, but I'm not going to. Sick. I used these little black 90-degree brackets to help secure this to the bed. And yes, I did need to secure this to the bed because those drawer slides are really heavy and the whole thing would just flip right up if I didn't do that. So what I did is I ordered these slides from Solid Woodworks. They have a YouTube page as well. And they recommended using what they called sex bolts to attach these because these are pretty heavy-duty slides. They're heavy just carrying them around, but they're also a 500-pound weight rating on it. You don't want to use little screws just to screw these in, and you know this wood isn't very thick. So what we have are, I ordered these on Amazon. I'll link them down in the description below. They're sex bolts. So basically, it's a bolt with basically a sheath that acts as the nut. This goes into the wood, and it makes a almost seamless fit. And you have to kind of get that because this slide goes back over the head of this nut. So has to be pretty flush. Alright, so I got both drawer slides mounted up. You can see those black, super flush, and the drawer slides slide very, very well. Okay. Alright, so it fits nice and flush. Nice and tight. Oh no! Uh-oh. Got to use some shims here. So I got to slide these These are pretty thick, but it should be plenty for what I need. I just want this to sit up off the bottom of this box so there's no resistance when we're sliding it. All right, so my mistake. I'm gonna have to use screws just on this front part till we get back, you know, beyond where this slide out happens, because they're just not gonna work. I should have planned it out better, but it is what it is now, so tough crap. Next time around, I'll do everything perfect, right? Putting a lot of screws in this front half. It's not as bad as I thought, but it's not light. And I'm going to screw it into this little subfloor that we built with these little stainless screws that I have. Hopefully that'll be enough to hold it. And then when we want to remove it, just zip out the screws and pull that thing right out, and we got a full-size bed again. So let's try this. It should be... Oh yeah, that's not going anywhere. Let's see how this works. Huge! Can't even get it all on camera, guys. Look at this. Alright, let's cut this for the top of the bed. So I got it in there. I just got to cut this little notch out here, and it should slide right in pretty good. I'm going to have to kind of figure out what that angle is and everything, and take me a minute to do that, but we'll get that cut out. I think that's what I wanted. I haven't screwed it down yet because I still got a couple more things, but you can see I got some screws here. All I did was I put a couple braces underneath there that sit on this little channel in the Tacoma, and it's just going to help it give it a little bit of support when I'm on it. And I did it in 3 places up through there, and then, you know, screwing it to here and there. We're gonna make a little cubby up in that front part, so I gotta go cut that out right now so that will lift up and down so we can get access to that last hatch up there. The other thing I want to do is make just a little opening right in here so I can access that little hatch. The drawer system goes right here, so there's a little opening right here. I might as well utilize that little storage area and just connect the two. I decided that when I put my stove here, it's going to be pretty hot because it's going to sit right up against that. Probably will never be an issue, but I had some of this aluminum left over, so I cut a piece to perfectly fit in there like that. And yeah, we're going to just mount that right in there. Here we go, another afterthought. Probably going to screw this up pretty bad, but oh, we got her. I put this skinny little piece in here that I trimmed out of my front piece so it'll hold the grip. I'm kind of sliding all around. So I had this really thick memory foam mattress topper that I used in college on the dorm beds, and it's been sitting in my dad's attic ever since I graduated. So this thing's like 13 years old. So I dug it out of his attic and then chopped it up to fit, and it works really well. Oh yeah, dude, that's way easier. So I got an idea. Oh yeah, that's nice. Woo! Dude, I can sleep on this no problem. Make a little mattress, a little cover for that, and be all set. Alright guys, so the truck cap camper is finally built. There's a few minor tweaks that I'm going to do to it here and there. I got to get a mattress cover to go over that, and a couple other small things here and there. But for all purposes it's done, and I'm super pumped about it. It came out really, really good. We've got the 50-inch locking drawer slides here. All we have to do is push down on both of these levers and pull. It unlocks the drawer, and then we just pull it right out until it locks fully. I cut out a little place for the stove here, a little place for the igniter. It just fits in there when you lift it up. The propane comes out here and hangs down. Should work really well for doing catch and cooks. Got a little spot for like spices, You know, I measured out these compartments for different things, so we don't know what we're going to put in there. Compartment here, a larger L-shaped compartment. If we find out we don't need all the space, we can put another compartment here or something. But I really wanted a place in the back for the propane tanks, so we can hold 3 of those there. I had a different idea when I was going to build this. I wanted this whole 60-inch drawer slide to come out, this to just be all cabinet space, and then this part where the stove went would come underneath, would come out from underneath, and the stove would be here. Didn't end up working that way, so I had to reconfigure it. The stove is here now, obviously, but we still put a drawer in here. It's a nice stainless steel surface that we can cut stuff on, prepare stuff. You know, flat surfaces are at a premium. So let's hop in real quick, show you what we got in here. I haven't really showed you guys this yet, but if you lift up the mattress, we have a little compartment under here. We can put some goodies in there, sleeping bag, blankets. I got a little fan in there right now. And then all the way over on this side, we have a little compartment that goes down this little sidewall there. Not sure what we'll put in there, but it's good to have it. Maybe toss a 9mm in there in case someone wants to, you know, creep up on me while we're camping. Now to close this, all you have to do is push down on these locks, push it all the way in until it locks. So last night, while I was waiting for stuff to kind of dry for the last finishing touches here on the drawer front, was I put my little power bank in here. I built this in another video. It just runs these LED lights up here, and I'm going to use it to charge my cell phone, other things like that while we're camping, camera batteries, whatnot. But that's it, guys. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. This was a really fun video to make. I always like building stuff. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys like this build and what you might have done differently. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. It's free. And we'll catch you guys in the next video. We got a double. Pull it up. Okay, stop. Okay. Salmon. Let the line out. It's a double. Okay, drive the boat. I'll get this. Holy smokes, Kathy.